Knife making is my therapy. This is one of the most powerful ways for me to take care of those triggers and those tornadoes that come my way. A couple of months ago, the realtor of this property and a surveyor came through here and surveyed the property. And you can see that fence right there. That's where my property line was from their survey. Then a gentleman bought this property and resurveyed it and came up with this right here is our property line. So this whole part of my shed and my forge is on their property line, and I have to remove it. I built this thing with my hands. I mean, cut the wood down, and you know, it was a lot of fun, and I just had the idea I can do it, and so I started. And so when I heard I had to tear my forge down in my shop, I was pretty depressed and didn't really know what I was gonna do. Being on a very tight fixed income, I didn't know how I was gonna do this. Thankfully, Freedom Alliance is coming through and gonna help me build it.
Master Gunnery Sergeant Ricardo Sanders served 23 years in the Marine Corps as a parachutist, and his deployments took him overseas all over the world, including Afghanistan. But his claim to fame is he's one of the founders or plank holders for the Marine Corps Martial Arts Program. Ricardo is a Marine that we've known for several years now, and his first event with Freedom Alliance was a recreational therapy trip.
And then I did one in Maryland. It was a duck hunt and a goose hunt. And I was also in the same blind with Mr. Vice President Dick Cheney.
If I had known that, he would have signed extra waivers.
Come to find out, I didn't find out till later, but my daughter is actually the one that called Freedom Alliance and asked if there was anything that they could do. And
his daughter called me to tell me about the property dispute, and Freedom Alliance, we decided to turn his misfortune into an opportunity of encouragement and to bless him.
It wasn't a shop that I could just move. I had to completely tear it down.
We knew he'd need help building a new forge, but we also knew that he'd need help taking down the old one. We were able to find a group from Manassas Baptist Church who came down to help with that process.
Every now and then, I'm serious.
Really good stuff.
All right.
Always the class clown. One in every group.
Ricardo had built this thing to last about 1,000 years, and these guys were great. They came through, they unscrewed every screw, they undid the nails, they took down the walls, they took down the roofing, and tried to preserve it so that Ricardo could use it in future projects. By the end of the day, Ricardo's mind was at ease. One part of this project was complete. Ricardo hired a group to put up the shell, but him and his sons ended up doing most of the work. Ricardo's got so much sweat equity into this thing, he made it his own.
Very often, Freedom Alliance is taking wounded veterans out on hunting and fishing trips. But we're here today with Master Sergeant Ricardo Sanders at his home to unveil a very special gift. One of the things that Ricardo does with his time is to make these very special knives. And part of it is cathartic for him. It's part of his rehabilitation to make these knives and to give them to other wounded service members. But in order to do that, Ricardo needs a workshop. And when we got the call from Ricardo's daughter that his workshop was being torn down on his property, Freedom Alliance came and said, Ricardo, we want you to have something where you can go every day and make these knives and continue your rehabilitation. And so you see behind me, this workshop is being dedicated today to Ricardo Sanders in honor of his long service in the Marine Corps, his dedication to our country, and his dedication to other wounded service members who will be the beneficiaries of these beautiful knives that he makes with his bare hands. Ricardo, you want to go into the shop?
Let's go do this.
All right. Ricardo, I want to thank you for your service and all that you've done for our country. And we know how important it is to make these knives and to be busy and to do something you love. I can tell from the craftsmanship here the kind of love and passion that goes into making these knives. And in order to do that, you need a great workshop. And so we're here today to dedicate this workshop to you. And on behalf of all of our supporters at Freedom Alliance, on behalf of all those who make this possible, I want to say congratulations. I want to say thank you. And we want to ask God's blessing on this shop and you and your family so that every time a service member receives one of these knives from Master Gunnery Sergeant Ricardo Sanders, he knows that it's coming from somebody who has been there, done that, and that comes with the love of the word Semper Fidelis. And so let's take a look inside, but before we do, I think we need to cut this ribbon with the very knives that you've made with your own hands.
All right,
shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. Ricardo, good luck and God bless.
I look at my shop now and I'm like, I can't believe it. I mean, this is like a miracle. I do believe in miracles. And to me, this is a huge miracle. And for my wife helping me through all of this, supporting me, and just doing every part of this shop is her too. And it's us together. And I can't wait to get to work. I have put a lot of time in building this. I did all the wiring, the floor joists, everything. I've just been working. Now to be able to do something, it's just gonna be so much fun. I can't wait.
And if you get the chance, before we secure here, if you want to look at this great Heroes Vacation booklet that was put together from one of the first events that was hosted down here. And this gentleman sitting over here, who you can see is very confident, is Ricardo Sanders. And Ricardo Sanders used to work for me, and he was one of the finest patriots that I ever knew. And I enjoyed working with him. He's one of the toughest guys I ever knew also. And so one of the things he does for the Freedom Alliance is he has a special gift of making a warrior knife for warriors. And each and every one of you are warriors. No matter how much you're in pain, no matter how much, wherever you came from in your life or why you came in the Marine Corps, you're a warrior. And you're a warrior today, and you'll be a warrior the rest of your life. It doesn't matter if you're in the service for 4 years or 20 plus years. You'll always be a warrior. And so I know Ricardo is a big part of this program, and he has a talent, and the talent is basically based on making warrior blades for something to remember you, that every time you go outside your house or in the woods or anything, you'll see that you are a warrior, and warriors carry blades like this. And these are all handmade by Ricardo Sanders, and you'll see his initials on here. And so on behalf of Ricardo Sanders and the rest of the warriors that have come before and will come again, I'd like to present these to you from him as a token of your future in regards to being warriors for the rest of your life.
I'll put it to good use. Ricardo, thank you. Thank you for your service, sir.
John, as the youngest here, and the one that has a lot more to give than the rest of us, here's another special blade from Ricardo to you. Keep it in your memory. Appreciate it. Thanks, sir. Again, look at that beautiful knife. I mean, it's just incredible. But again, that warrior spirit, the warrior knife, for everything that you've done and everything you'll do in the future.
Thank you very much. You bet. Appreciate it.
Big Chris.
Yes, sir. Please.
Chris, for all the things that you've gone through and all the things that you're going to go through in the future, you know, just remember you have a purpose. You have a purpose of carrying the tradition of a warrior. And this should remind you each and every day when you walk in your room or you have it on the side of your belt, you go out in the woods or whatever, that you're a warrior. And we're all warriors and we all have purposes in life. You just have to now sit down and basically find that purpose and follow your dreams. And one thing that's so special about that are these warriors here, and the families that have supported you will be there for you 24/7, 365. You just have to let them come into your life and do it as a warrior from Ricardo Sanders.
Yes, sir. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate it, Master Guns. Thank you.
Finally, Ricardo, we go back a long ways. And I really do appreciate the artwork that you did on this one that you're sending me. It really means the world to me. And I'm still recovering from that shot that you gave me on my calf. My calf have never been the same, but I'll never forget you. And I appreciate what you've done to all the warriors that have been coming here to Freedom Alliance. So God bless you for everything that you do, and Semper Fi. Hoorah.